Alright, so we after the last dyno session we had with the one of our Ram Air 5 engines, the one that we did for Two Guys Garage, we noticed that because we had a vacuum gauge hooked to it, that the engine was actually building vacuum at higher RPM, and that's a good indicator that we have a restriction. So I bought another throttle body. We're not going to be able to use it on that build because that build's already completed and shipped. But we got another build we're doing here, and so I thought I'd show everybody the difference between what we had on the Two Guys Garage build, which is this one right here. This is the throttle body that comes with the Edelbrock ProFlow 4 system. These are they're 4150 style flange, and they have four throttle plates in them, and they rate these at 1000 CFM. All right, so this is what that looks like, and that's what comes in the kit, and they actually work pretty good for most applications. But for the Ram Air 5 heads, because they move so much air, we were restricting the engine radically, and I'm going to show you the bore size on this here real quick. I do believe these are only 1 3/4 or 1.750 inches, and this is a little tough to do while I'm trying to do with while I'm holding the phone, so really need somebody to hold this for me. That's shrunk up a little bit, but it is 1.750. Alright, so let me get that out to 1.750 and I'll see if we can slide it in there or not. Alrighty. Man, this is hard to do whenever you're really tough to do whenever you're looking through a phone. But anyhow, you guys can see that this fits just, let me squeeze that down just a tad bit more here. Sorry about not being able to stay focused on here. Like I said, it's a little tough to do, trying to do this while we're filming. So anyhow, it does go in there, okay? And anyway, you'll have to trust me. It's 1.750. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to measure this one here. I bought this from AccuFab. Now, this is a 4500 bolt pattern, so like a Dominator. And these are rated at 2000 plus CFM, so roughly double what this is. And they're a nice setup. They've got a IAC provision here in the back. IAC stands for idle air control. They've got the mounting point for a throttle position sensor, and they also offer you a vacuum port up front here for like power brakes or PCV. Well, I don't think you'd run a PCV valve with this setup, but a power brake setup. And it's got a real nice progressive billet linkage setup on this thing. As you can see, whenever you open the throttle on that, the primary side has to open roughly, I don't know, about 1/3 of the way before the secondary start to open. So this can be used on the street, not just a race application. Let's see what this Edelbrock one does here. I've never checked that to see. So this one here, if I can get it to move, all right, and it opens roughly about the same. So maybe a little better than 1/3 of the way on the primary side before the secondary start to come in. So it's a progressive setup also. So anyways, the throttle plate on this is, I think, 2 1/4 inches. Let's see if we can see that here. So yeah, 250 we'll say, because it's 249, but I'm not holding this exactly square. So we're roughly going from 1 3/4 inches to a 2 1/4 inch throttle blade, which is huge. It's not just the CFM difference that makes a difference in horsepower, but the amount of square area that's the engine can see from the throttle plate area of this setup. And so anyways, what was going on with this one here on the engine that we dynoed last week, it had 5 inches of vacuum. It was building at around 6,000 RPM, 6,200, and it was limiting the horsepower of the engine. The dyno operator, Sean, he suspected that we had too small of a throttle body on this, and he hooked the vacuum gauge up so that we could run the engine and see what kind of vacuum it was building. And 5 inches of vacuum at 6,000 RPM is pretty serious. The engine should probably went to roughly about 72, 7,400 from what we've seen from other builds that we've done. But it was all done at 6,200 because this throttle body was just way too small. And so this next build that we're doing, I'm going to use this bigger throttle body on it and see what happens then and see if we build any vacuum or not. But I suspect that this is probably going to alleviate that problem, and this still may not be big enough. I don't know, but we will know after we do the dyno session with it. But I thought I'd share with you guys some really cool parts here that we just picked up. These things are beautiful. AccuFab does a really nice job on these things. And they have all the provisions, like I said, for idle air control, throttle position sensor. There's ports down in the base here that you can hook a map sensor to. And of course we have to run a map with this setup. Now the Edelbrock one, that's the IAC motor right there, idle air control valve. The air comes up through here and controls the idle with the computer. And then, of course, this is a throttle position sensor. And this is a typical GM throttle position sensor, and that IAC is the same thing. So you can buy them at any parts store in case you're out on the road and one of these fails. Now, what Edelbrock has done is they've actually incorporated the map sensor into the throttle body. And I might try to figure out a way to do that on these or on this one too. I haven't decided yet, but if we do, I'll probably just have to drill a passage into the throttle body and make it connect to the main or manifold vacuum. But pretty cool stuff. I think that, believe it or not, going from this to this on that last engine we built would probably be between 50 and 70 horsepower difference. And the engine made pretty good power, but it could have made a little bit more, I think, with the bigger throttle body. Again, this is a 4150 style, and this one here is a 4500 style. Of course, it takes a different air cleaner too, so you can see the difference in the air cleaner flange on these is huge. So we'll have to make an adapter to fit if you're going to run like a factory style air cleaner or whatever. But these are pretty low profile too. So, compared to this, it's a little bit shorter than the Edelbrock one and a lot shorter than a carburetor. So, gives you a little more hood clearance as well with this AccuFab. Alright guys, as usual, thanks for following. Make sure and come hang out with us every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time at DCI Motorsports 1111. That's our live podcast night. We do bench racing podcast every Wednesday, and I hope to see all you guys there.